The reasons that I am here is because I just came back from Namibia 2 days ago. And usually you will never see me in a conference like this, because I'm always in the field. I'm the person who's not here. Yeah? I'm always the person talking in the field with the villagers, the people in the field, and finding out how to organize the project as a project developer. And for me, it's very important to try and find out who I'm talking to, because I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste other people's time. I know we have a lot of ingenious projects that are for tree planting and various conservation programs. But if we're talking to each other and not talking to the people we actually want to talk to, which is the investors, then we're missing a link somewhere. And my project is like everybody else's, fantastically designed, making it very community-friendly, environmental-friendly, carbon credits, everything that you can talk about. But if you're an investor and you're standing out there, come into the realm. Listen to what I have to say, because this is the thing that you want to invest into. You don't want to invest into a project which is just going to be average. You want to invest in something which is going to give you a return. At the same time, I'm trying to find a language to talk to you as an investor, because I go around and people say, yes, we all care about the environment, we all care about planting CO2, making negatives, and we want to do something. This is what I hear in the media. But in reality, when we talk about signing on the dotted line for the contracts, people shy away because they say, oh, Africa, it's a risk area. Yeah. Now, I've changed the way that I'm going to do this presentation because of the audience that I have. And because you say there's people watching this. Now, the reason being is because I want to make sure that I'm reaching the right target. I'm reaching the right people. And I'm trying to talk their language, because an investor doesn't talk environmental, doesn't talk conservation. They talk numbers, figures, and they want to see how it's going to work out. And as we explained in a lot of these presentations, it's not as black and white as it seems. Having a financial return depends on how business incremental you are. If you know how to do business, I can talk to you about how we're going to make a financial return, or how it's going to benefit the communities, and how you're going to get your credits on that. But if we're going to talk about, nice projects in Africa, we can feed people, we can feed animals, we can make soil improvement. And then the bottom line that the financial advisor is looking at is like, okay, we do that, but how do we convert it into numbers? It's very difficult. And this is what's going on in this conference right now. A lot of people are just two different approaches in language. All I do is this. I go to different villages, make my negotiations, talk with them on how they're going to benefit from carbon credits. How is that structure going to be set up in their village with village elders? And that no one actually decides, not one individual decides how that village is going to spend that money or is in control of that money. They have to decide what they want. Do they want electrification? Do they want a school? Do they want a clinic? What do they want? In that, do they want water management systems? So these are the things that I work on. And I'm trying to explain to an investor that this is going to save the world. We're planting 25 million trees. You know how difficult it is even to plant 100 trees? Do you know how difficult it is? How much physical labor it takes? So if we're going to upscale this into a potential investment, we have to be business smart, use smart technology, and know how to get these people activated to be able to do that job. And make sure that they protect the trees. And we explain it very easily. You destroy the trees, your income goes away every year. After the 5th year, when you're getting carbon credits, your income goes away. So why would you do that? keep your trees for 30 years. Yeah? After that, the trees are yours. Yeah? Then you can do whatever you want. And they'll see this part of Namibia. I'll explain Namibia. In Namibia, you can fit 3 Scandinavian countries. Yeah? The whole of Scandinavia you can fit inside Namibia 3 times. Yeah? It has a population of 2.2 million people, lower than any Scandinavian country. Yeah? So you can imagine we have a lot of land, we have a lot of potential for solar because it's nearly sunny every day. Yeah? And the potential for people to invest is in this country, because where else can you get a good government working in a small population with a huge amount of area to actually develop? Yeah? So this is why we have chosen Namibia, because they actually work. They actually do the work, and the government actually does work. So we have made an agreement with the government for 14,736 square kilometers of land to reforest. Yeah? Now you ask as an investor, what is the security? The security is that we're working together with the forestry department to develop this project. Yeah? We're not using local NGOs or anything like that, and they have already done tree planting projects themselves. Yeah? And we can expand that all across the country. These are village elders, yeah, for a population of 20,000 people. Yeah? They go back and they tell everybody that this is what we have to do next. Yeah? Organizing those kind of meetings, getting people involved local level is very important. And as everybody has said, yeah, participation is crucial to any of this work. But the key factor is that we are trying to get it as low level, cut out the nonsense of consultants. Yeah? Because what happens when you invest into a project, you get outside consultants coming in, doing a little tiny job and going out. 99.9% of our workforce in Namibia is from Namibia. They're highly educated. They can do the work themselves. Yep. We don't have to import people out of the country to come into the country to take the chunk out of the carbon credits. Yep. And this is why it's workable, because the local workforce is also great. Yep. This is one forest project that I did in 1999, 2000. Yeah. These trees have increased and produced good soil. The local species, nothing has ever been introduced to Namibia. The only time I introduced something into Namibia was mangoes, and that was during the war. We imported a truck of mangoes from Zimbabwe to come here, and then we ate the mangoes, dried them, germinated them, and planted them. And today mangoes are growing quite a lot in northern Namibia. Yeah. So you can imagine the history that we have. We know that the soil improves. We know the kind of trees that we should be planting. And they're all local species. So what is a win-win situation? The investor should be very happy about this. Yeah. And if you can increase, this is a water, like this is an area with a fresh water coming out of here. And this is a perfect place for a nursery. Yeah. This is in the northern part on the border of Angola. It's called Oshikango. And this is one of our sites that we can build 60,000 nurseries for 60,000 plants. And we can have about 4 different nurseries here. And there's enough water for the local population as well. We'll also set up purification systems so that the people are drinking fresh water rather than just straight from there. Yeah. These are already existing nurseries. We expand those. Yeah. We don't have to start from everything from beginning. We see what there is. We know the scenario there. We just expand on it. Yeah. It cuts the cost really low. Yeah. So indigenous soil, getting the soil improvement, that's all we care about. We're fighting a desertification. This area is very remote, yeah, and it's a desert basically. turning into desert. And if we don't change the soil, then the desert will win. And we're always there. We're the only organization which has a corporate side and also an international NGO. Yeah? So all our work is done by local people, hired by us to carry out the work. Yeah? So we don't have to keep on outsourcing to everybody else. So, these are all just the positive stuff. I'm going to quick because it's like I'm not too sure how we're actually getting through this. So all our investments, are 1 minute 35. So all our investments are basically on that, improving the soil, getting those trees planted, getting the carbon credits. Now we just need some investors, because the first part of the investment has been done by the Nature Conservancy, which is $500,000. The second by Climate Asset Management Fund, HSBC. And now we need the third part, which is the 15 to 20 million to expand the project nationwide. And indigenous forests, remember that. Nothing outside. That's my presentation.